Hey, this is Suraz, and today I'm going to give you a tour of Presenton. Presenton is this open source AI presentation platform that helps you generate presentation using any provider or model of your choice. Most importantly, it helps you generate presentations locally. It supports local providers like Olama and LM Studio so that you can generate presentations locally, privately, or even in like air gapped environments. Presenton supports two ways to be able to kind of generate presentations through open source. One is the Docker. So Presenton has a Docker package which you can host in your own machine, in your servers for your team, and get yourself running with Presenton. And but the alternative that we have is also, I think, much more faster way, much more easier way to get started with Presenton and to kind of use every day, and that is like desktop application. You can just download the application and install it on your machine and use that to generate presentation. It is available in all major operating system. So yeah, let's start generating presentation. But first, obviously, we'll have to configure. So I've just already downloaded the Presenton app, and yeah, let's configure it. And here we are in the configuration section. This is just after I installed my app. Here I have to choose ways in which I configure my initial intelligence for Presenton. So first thing obviously is text generation settings. So the kind of providers I choose for AI text generation. So at the top, I obviously have Presenton Cloud. This is one of the most straightforward ways. You just don't have to configure anything there. Just click on Presenton Cloud and everything will be configured by default. But if you want to have the control of configuring, we have the second easiest thing is obviously through ChatGPT. So it works with your existing codex users. Another one is a local setup. So if you are running Olama or LM Studio locally, and if you want to use the models that you have to generate presentations, then you can just configure that here with the credentials. And we also have other providers. We have other APIs that you can connect through, and we have like plethora of options here. And if it's not available in the list, you can always connect through custom, which is basically OpenAI compatible providers that you can plug in the credentials to start generating presentation. So I'll just go in with chat GPT for now. I have to add the redirect URL, and I am logged in with chat GPT. Let me select the model. This one is Luna. Let's go with Terra. And after text generation settings, we will have to configure for image. So presentations are nothing without images, right? You need visuals. It does support a lot of providers, from image generation models to image stock API providers. We'll just go with pixels for now because it's one of the easiest. And I have added my pixels key, and I'll go to configure web search, and I'll just go with default. It will use my model's default search capabilities. So ChatGPT has search capabilities, Anthropic has that, Google has that. So it'll use models capabilities to go and search for facts while we are generating presentation, so that we are not using outdated information stored in model weights. Apart from that, if you want, you can also go with hosting search XNZ, which is very suited if you want everything full stack presentation generation hosted. This is also an open source solution. Or if you want, you can go with either of API search providers, which are like Tavily, Exa, Brave. I'll just go with default for now, and I'll click on save, and it was a breeze. So this hardly takes couple minutes to set up, and we are in generate page. So first thing that I'd like to go over is this mode. So we have generation mode, and one is standard mode and one is smart mode. Smart mode, as you could also see from the graphics, makes up the layout from scratch. So basically it uses model capabilities. It kind of gives everything to the model. It uses model capabilities to generate entire presentation from scratch. So it has to depend on larger models, but it is really well suited for creative design use case. You want creative presentations, but standard on the other hand is very well suited for on brand, on design guidelines presentations, where you already have a template. You want to repeatedly generate same presentations without violating the design. In those cases, standard really stands out, because only text or only images are kind of changed, replaced in case of standard, and the overall structure and design of the layout stays the same. Also, a plus is that standard can work with very small models, while a smart needs relatively larger models, or like SOTA models in really creative workflow. So based on your work, you have an option here. I'll just go with standard for now, because it's just easy to get started with it. So prompt side, I'll just go with a really basic prompt. We have other options as well, including a number of slides, language, stylistic options that I have over here. If I wanted to generate presentation over a file that I might have, it can ingest PDF, docs, text, spreadsheets, a lot different kind of file formats. So just plug in here and let Presenton handle the content for you. So I'll just go with really basic design, really basic prompt for now. And now we have an option to select template. So let's go with a template. I'll go with this editorial one, and it is now generating presentation outline first, and the stream has started. I'll just continue with it, and we have our first slide. So the presentation has been generated. You can see the slides. What I'm going to do is now show the cool parts of it and show how you can work with this. And one thing that I would love to show is the editing capability. So you can just edit it, drag it. So it's not a really fixed interface. It's what you see is what you get interface, where you can drag, resize, edit all kinds of elements. And if you need to create new elements, you have an option on the right for different elements that you can pull in and create new designs. On the top, we have this really cool feature, which is blocks. Blocks basically are this design adherent components from a template or layout, which you can reuse to create new presentations manually. Even AI assistant can use it to generate new slides. So I'll just create a new slide with one of our blocks. So I've just added the block. Let me see if I can find a title. So I have a title. Maybe I don't need this thing at the bottom. Let me just delete it. I'll need an image. I think the image here looks really good, and I'll need a description here. So let me just find a description. If not, I can just add it from the content. I think this will do. So yeah, so I've just assembled a designed adherent slide in minutes, which might have taken to create a lot of time. So I'll just use AI then to kind of fill it. So AI assistant is really powerful. You can fill an entire content. So I'll just conclude the presentation with this slide. Fill the content. Okay. Okay, we have the slide ready with the content. And yeah, this is the magic of AI assistant blocks. This is the magic of AI. And what happens when you have synergy between AI and humans? So this makes generating visuals really fast, really precise. It gives what you want, but lets AI aid in where it's much faster, where it's much more efficient for things. So once you are done, we also have this really beautiful present mode that you can use to present your presentation to your audience. And once you are done, or if you want to take this presentation somewhere else, we have this export to PPTX or PDF, and the PPTX is really high fidelity PPTX, which means that you'll be able to edit this pixel by pixel in any of your PowerPoint editors like PowerPoint, Google Slides, Canva, and anything. It will be editable in. Now another important part of Presenton is templates. So let me just go to the templates. You can see that here are some inbuilt templates that I created the presentation from earlier. So I used this one to create presentation earlier, but what you can also do is create your own template. So if you already have a presentation, you can just go to Template Studio and then upload the presentation to create a new template out of it. So the way to approach it is you want to upload your PPTX file, which you want to convert into template. The PPTX file that you upload should be very closer to the output that you want to see. So basically what I mean is you don't upload two slide deck and expect like really a formatted presentation with all different kind of layouts. So how Presenton normally works, it converts every slide in the presentation to a layout, and that layout is going to be later filled with content or a presentation and will be combined to create a presentation. So this is how this works. And so let me just generate a presentation quickly. So let me just create a really brief demonstration over here. So I'll just click on get started. Now it has started to take fonts and give a preview. So normally what it does is it takes the font, if the font is available in the open domain, it kind of goes towards creating the template. If it's not, then it kind of prompts you to add the font so that it can move forward for preview and then towards template generation. Now the preview is available, so you can see the preview that Presenton generated from the templates that we've just uploaded. So this is basically the presentation that I've uploaded. Now when I click on create template and add in the identifier, I'll just give the name as template. Now it'll take some time, like 15 to 20 minutes, even like 30 minutes, depending on the size of the presentation that you've added. And after the generation is completed, we can then inspect into it and then see and then try to generate a presentation with it. So the template has been generated. Let me try to look into it. And you can see that we have the slides, right? And each slide has a schema on the right with decorative and content elements. Now I can really go deep into it and try to kind of try to kind of get you through everything about how to create a template, about how to edit template so that the generated presentations are really good. But right now I'll just skim through it. This is how template is generated, and there are a lot of things here, I know, but our template is basically ready, and we are kind of good to start generating presentations. So I'll just go to my earlier step, use the same prompt and use my custom template now. And we are kind of going through the same process at this point. First step is obviously to generate the outline, and this can also be edited. The outline is completely editable, either manually or through the AI interface here. Everything here is editable. I can just click on it, edit it manually, or I can instruct to the AI to kind of make the presentation wise outline edit. But I am really satisfied with the outline that I've got here. So I'll click on continue and see Presenton generating with our custom template. So our first slide is ready. You can see the content has been completely replaced. New images, context specific images. We have this image over here. There might be some issue regarding the size of the text, etc., which can definitely be controlled while in the template generation part, or even now we can control that through the canvas. So you can see that the presentation has been generated. The entire presentation from our custom template has been generated, and I can do all sorts of things with it. One of the things that I can do is create new slides that I showed earlier with the blocks. So we have the blocks. I can just create new slides, fill it with data manually or through AI, and either present or export to a PPTX or PDF. Yeah, thanks everyone for coming through this. Would love for you to any issue that you had while setting up Presenton, and any issues that you ran into while generating presentations or template, into comment or into our GitHub issues. The links to everything will be in the description. Don't forget to like the video. That helps us reach to more people like yourself, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading more videos around template generation, API generation, more on SDKs that we will be launching very soon. So yeah, stay tuned. Have a great day. Bye.